Welcome to this episode of Blended, Blessed, and Always a Mess. I'm Aric.
And I'm Angie.
We are married with a ton of kids.
We have 6 kids total. He has 3 and I have 3.
My name's Hallie and I love riding horses.
I'm Lexi and I love agriculture.
My name's Carter and I love eating.
My name's Chase and I love lifting weights.
My name's Summer and I love spending my parents' money.
I'm Dane and I love baseball.
Our show is about our blended, blessed, and always a mess life. And our hope is if you find yourself in the same situation we are in, that by sharing our story, all the fun and all the mess, the challenges we are experiencing, it will give you some inspirations, laughs, and community, knowing you are not alone in this mess.
We appreciate you spending time with us. Let's dive in.
This episode is brought to you by Seven's Boutique, an online shop created by 2 sisters, Angie and Jess, who believe you should walk boldly, dress divinely, and know your significance. At Seven's, you'll find easygoing pieces that are cozy, classy, and made to mix and match. Think relaxed pants, cozy sweaters, and lifestyle sets you'll want to live in. Every item is handpicked with purpose, so you can shop confidently, dress comfortably, and walk boldly. Inventory is small and curated, so if you see something you love, don't wait. Visit sevensboutique.com and use the code PODCAST10 for 10% off your first order. www.sevensboutique.com. Walk boldly, dress divinely, know your significance.
Welcome to this week's episode of Blended, Blessed, and Always a Mess, where it is actually around the second weekend of January, which is Quitters Weekend.
We're not quitting, though.
We're
not quitting on all of our goals.
But it's Quitters Weekend for those that give up on their New Year's resolution. So you get to about the 10th day of January and you call it a day.
You quitting or are you sticking with it?
Where are you at? I say this to people. If you are struggling through the first 10 days, you might want to adjust your resolution or your goal because it's probably not going to get that much easier. I've been reading, I've been walking, I've been struggling with my sugar intake. That was on there. That's not been good for me.
Yeah, as we alluded to on our last episode, we're going to dive into all of our 2026 goals. So every year, Aric and I sit down and we write out our individual goals and we share those, and then we do couples goals. And so, we went to Kansas City the other weekend. Just the 2 of us. It was so nice.
We loved it. We had a great weekend. I just want to say there are some people in the world that actually worry about us from time to time. That's what we've learned. And we had a great time together. I
did have someone in church the other day turn around and say, "Are you and Aric still together?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're really good.
Yeah,
we're really good." But she had saw us at different times by herself in church. So now listen, I mean, there's different times of our previous life where that could have been, I'm not really sure.
We have so many kids and activities that we've been all over the place. So there had been some times we hadn't been able to go to church together. We were still going, but no. And I would just say this to you. Angie's the one that said we were really good. And that actually made my heart feel really good. And Angie also sent me another sweet message this week that was, I saved it. Okay. I copied it. I saved it in notes for a rainy day. So,
because it's rare.
She doesn't send a lot of them. And she acknowledges that. And so when I got it, I was like,
because I'll say this again. I've said it before, because you want it to be meaningful.
Oh, it's meaningful. We were like,
meaningful.
Yeah, we were
and I have to actually feel it. I can't lie. So I share the real emotion.
It was very sweet.
Anyway,
it was very sweet.
We're here to talk about our goals. But back to KC, we didn't really have a schedule. In fact, the week before, I'm like, should we go to Kansas City or not? Honestly, I was kind of in that point of I don't know if I want to go. It almost felt like, well, I think I was just feeling low of I'd just rather stay at home and not do anything. I can't even think about stuff. But then as we got closer and through Christmas, I'm like, okay, let's go. Because otherwise we're going to sit around here and do all this work versus just escaping. And it was nice because we didn't have a schedule and we got plenty of rest and it was relaxed and kind of felt weird.
It was nice because, as Angie said, all we do is work. We're at home to the point where we left Friday at 11, 12 o'clock. We got home Sunday about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And then we worked for the next 5 hours around our house. And we looked at each other like, this is why we had to go away for 48 hours. So we would just be still, be quiet, and just be. So yeah, it was really good. And I'm really glad that we took the time to do that.
Yeah. So do you want to start by sharing what your goals are and that conversation we start? It was at dinner.
So we go to dinner, check out 1587 Prime, which is the new Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce steakhouse. Really good if you can get a reservation. You sat at the bar. We loved it and started talking about goals because this time of year, that's what we always do. And so I tell Angie, I said, hey, last year I walked over 800 miles. This year I want to hit 1,000 miles. I'm going to try to read like 10 books. Last year I didn't quite get there. Going to start trying to lead a men's group at church, which I, full transparency, feel like an imposter and like I should not be doing that. But talked to some of the pastors there and they'd like me to try to lead a men's group. And so I'm going to start to do that. And then I said to her, normally we would do some things together. We'd set our own couples goals, as Angie mentioned a couple of moments ago, and kind of interested in her response.
Right. Yeah. I think I was, getting ready to take a bite of something. And like, I'm not doing any goals this year.
Huh. Well,
just not.
Huh. I wasn't really sure what to do with that. I was like, well, is it okay? I think I said something to the effect of like, well, we should probably discuss that because that's what you're feeling. Great. I don't think for me personally, if I go into a year without any goals, that's going to be good for my overall development long term. And I said, I like where I'm at right now. I like the upward trajectory that it feels like I'm on, and it's going to require me to be on some goals. I said, so now it feels like we're kind of going two different directions. So how do we navigate that where we're headed different directions and yet still have the same common Aric and Angie like end game with that?
Yeah. I mean, it was weighing on my mind, I would say, for a while of like, I'm definitely a goal person. For a bazillion years, have set goals. But like this year, I'll be 49, almost 50. And if I'm being honest and reflect, probably 85% of my entire life has been focused on what's next, which is a great thing. Goals are awesome. Like that is how I have been able to achieve the things that I want to achieve, from college to my career to where I want to live, things I want to buy, what I want to achieve, big goals, small goals, like always reaching.
And vision boards, you've done that?
Yeah, totally. Like I've always done vision boards, whether they're virtual or physical, because I fundamentally believe, I mean, this is so true. I've seen it happen over and over. If you can see it and believe it and do the work for it, then you can achieve it. And I mean, I have a million examples of where I have envisioned something and have put in the work and it has happened.
Tim McGraw does it too. Like when I read his biography, like he has a big sign, like whether it's on a mirror or whatever, he keeps it in front of him. That's his motivation and what he's doing.
Yeah. And I have worked my ass off my entire life. And it's not just career, it's everything, to rebuild from my divorce, to create this space for my kids. And there's no shortcuts, no connections that I have had where someone had given me an easy pass. It's been grit and belief and determination. And then throw in the whole starting who I am and this complete devastation of losing Hallie and having to rebuild that. Like if I could point to the one single-handed most challenging thing in my entire life is to get up the morning I had to say goodbye to my daughter. And so the last couple years have been nothing but small goals to get up or big goals to achieve a certain thing in my career. And you go back to 11 years ago when I got divorced, and within 3 months I moved, which is one of the most stressful things someone can do. Got a new job, which is also one of the most stressful things someone can do. Like completely, totally different career. And get divorced, which is also one of the top stressors in anyone's life. And that forced me out of my comfort zone like no other. And in that scenario, when all that happened, I got really quiet and I focused on rebuilding everything that I knew. Circle small, focus on growth, all the things. And I'm also a firm believer that the hard seasons teach you the things that good seasons can't.
Yeah. And you rebuilt.
Yeah. And I did it on my own. And so I could never have done any of that. None of that would have happened if I didn't have goals. I didn't have vision boards. I even had vision boards for my kids.
I remember we met. They had vision boards.
I hung them in
what's
the
going on?
garage.
Yeah.
Also, I think one of them had a G-Wagon on it, so that one's still out there. But
she's
anyway,
still hoping for that. Yeah.
It's my vision board up here in my head. But the whole purpose behind vision boards, if you have not done the research, is like if you see something every day, it's a constant reminder of what you're working towards. Again, that imagine, believe it, work for it.
You didn't skip any years, and you got me into it then when we met. And
yeah, totally. Until now.
Well, fair, and which is why I was caught off guard. So then I'm like, all right, well, what changed for you?
Yeah, Hallie. I mean, after she died, the rebuilding took on a whole new level of the worst kind. The worst freaking kind. And so my goals, while I had them, were very much different. They were survival goals of breathe, get out of bed, try to find joy again, put on this face for everybody else, dig into my faith. Like, how am I going to keep going? And so it's faith. And it's like, how do you just keep functioning at the bare minimum?
You were in fight or flight mode, and so you still are. If we're being honest, like you're still in fight or flight.
I feel it. Like I know exactly when I'm in fight or flight mode. So that's been over the last 3 years, going on 4 years, and none of that was by choice. It was because of someone else's choice. And I have ran so hard my whole life, but especially the last 3 years. I ran towards achievement because that was familiar to me. Accomplish something, and that will make everything better. Don't stop. Like, don't forget about Hallie. Keep honoring her. Keep moving forward. And even recently, because her birthday is coming up, even recently I told Aric, I'm like, and I had talked to a couple of moms that lost their kiddos recently, because a couple of them, we went to brunch for the first time locally here. And we're all on a similar time frame. And it's almost like this weight of even their birthday where you're supposed to celebrate them. Like over time, that gets really heavy too. You just get tired of trying to do all the things.
It looks successful for people watching. Like, you won several awards last year. Yeah. You've written books. It looks really good.
Open the boutique, like all of that, being everywhere for the kids and raising a horse. But like inside, that's why you never go off of social media. You never go off of like what an outward appearance looks like. Inside, my whole nervous system is like done. It's like, F you. You cannot set another goal.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, I feel like I have done all the things that I needed to do to get to a place where I should be able to rest for a freaking second.
Yeah. And I would just say, I saw like the end of the year, your work schedule slowed down some, and then we went away for a little bit. And it was like, it felt like you kind of slowed down a little bit too. Yeah.
I would say for the first time, I just told a guy on my team this today. We were talking, and he had an amazing break too. And I'm like, I feel like several people have actually said that for the first time, they actually felt really relaxed. And I think it's a number of things. I think the relief that I made it through November, because it's no point in trying to describe like how gut-wrenching that is. And I made it through Christmas, and we had a great Christmas, but work got super quiet and we didn't go anywhere other than like 2 days in Kansas City. And I mean, I got bored. And I cannot tell you the last time I was bored, but I think I was analyzing this. I think what has happened, I know this in me, that whenever I get super anxious, sad, grief, all that stuff, the fight or flight, I don't lay down. I do the opposite. I like check every box I can check. I'm like doing all these things. So the last couple months have been so hard that when it came to right after Christmas, I had nothing to do. I had already checked every there wasn't an Amazon return. There wasn't things to do around the house. We'd already taken down like all that stuff. Instead of like freaking out about that a little bit, I just started hearing something like really clear in my mind in the extreme boredom.
Was I talking too much? Was it me? What was it?
You were. I think you were going to work. That's why it was really quiet.
Okay.
That's why.
Makes sense.
No, it was like, just stop. Just be soft on yourself. Just be like, get quiet, get soft.
That does not sound like the hustle culture that you usually.
No, but it does sound like God. Like I could just hear him saying, "For God's sakes, woman, stop for a minute." And so then it's the new year, and it's like I have that in my head of like, be soft, like just give yourself a freaking minute. And then I realized like I can't add another goal. Like why would I do that? I've done all the work. I've rebuilt. I've grown to the nth degree, which we could probably get in that conversation too. We're talking about our
That's a funny conversation. We can discuss that. I think you'd get a kick out of it if we have time tonight. We'll see.
The therapy, the book. So like learning, I am maxed out on growth. And there's another lady that I follow. She actually was a presenter at my Grit with Grace event, Natalie Kuhn. She's on Substack and I follow her. And she literally, I wrote out a blog post that I haven't posted yet, but it is all about this. And she did a blog post and it literally was the same thing. I ended up emailing her. I'm like, I just wrote this. Like we are saying the same thing in a different way, but it's like, I think you do at some point in your life go, okay, stop trying to freaking keep achieving and just be. So you can imagine Eric's shock, what he's thinking. We're going to sit down and write some goals together. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm 2026. I am going to focus on protecting the peace that I feel in this moment. It's a moment, but I'm going to do everything that I can in 2026 to not have a year like 2025, like 2024, like 2023, like the end of 2022.
Okay. So with that being said, it's a new year, new goals. You're thinking what?
Just softer.
Softer.
I'm just going to be softer on me. Not on you, but I'm going to be softer on me.
I was wondering if that meant me too, but apparently not. It sounds like no. It's
just no expectations and no pressures. You can go do all the things.
It's hard for achievers to shut her down like Angie's trying to do. That's tough for you.
It's early, but I am going to try to really keep myself in check on that. I don't know. I think sometimes faith looks like trusting God enough to stop striving and to just be still in my body, because I loved the way that it felt for a day or two at the end of the year. I'm like, okay. And that's when the creativity comes. That's when like real thoughts come, not the anxiety thoughts, the fight or flight thoughts. So I'm obviously still going to move my body and I'm still going to be healthy. I'm still going to do all those things to just keep that stability with faith and my mind, body, and soul and all of that. And also I'm still going to throw a little like Jesus side eye here and there because I think he's funny. I think he's snarky too.
He gave us our sense of humor. He can handle it. Like we're supposed to be made in the image of God, which means our feelings, our emotions as well. So I believe Jesus is funny. I think that's true. All right. So maybe what you're saying is the goal this year isn't to do more.
Correct. Yeah. Just be present and listen and let God do the pushing. Keep him in my plans, but let him be I'm just going to follow him. Just like lead. What happened tonight.
Yeah.
That's a great example. But
that's fair.
That's why I had this conversation with Lexi. And I'm like, Lexi, sometimes you just got to say F it. And you just got to like not worry about stuff. And I shared an F it moment for us, which we'll share at some point, maybe on the podcast. But today was like an F it. We're doing this. And then like literally an hour later, this house that we had booked on our family vacation, the lady, their management company ended up reaching out to us and was like, hey, I need to call you. And I'm like, oh boy, I don't feel good about this. And it was a perfect house. It met all of our family's needs because, we got extras that come with us sometimes, like my parents. And anyway, so she ends up calling me and she's like, listen, the owners want their house when you booked. So I'm going to have to move you to another house. And I'm like, this was the perfect house.
Until. Dun, dun, dun,
and then she sends me the link and it's like, oh God,
it's the more perfect house.
Okay. Threw in some stuff, gave us a discount, just got cheaper. So that earlier effort moment when we made a purchase, now all of a sudden. So that's why I'm letting God. I'm not going to try to be a hyperachiever this year. I'm going to let God do his thing. And
yeah, if you're listening and you're feeling behind, you're tired, you're done chasing, then maybe that's not failure. I don't know.
No, because if you're an achiever, you feel like that is failure. Like, oh, I'm not checking all the boxes, so I must be lazy or I'm not doing something. And I'm not going to have that mindset this year. It just means I'm going to just listen. But not to you, but just I'm going to listen to God.
See how that goes.
Okay.
She did send me one sweet thing this week. One day, maybe she'll let me read it.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how I heard that at dinner. And I'm like, okay, well, all right.
Okay, let's be honest. You freaked out a little bit. You're like, what? We're not going to have goals together? Like, what does that mean? Or you were like,
I was trying to make sure that I was on the same page with where you were at. So here's what I said to her then. I said, and this is kind of the funny story. And I would love to get you guys' response to this. Because when I shared this with our counselor, she even looked at me like, oh God, she said what? I was like, I know, that's how I took it. So I said, well, look, Ange, here's the deal. I think that's great for you. You have worked so hard. I think it's time for you to just rest, relax. And I said, but for me, I need these goals. And if I'm being honest, I said, I want to say this in the most humble way possible because I could see how it could come across poorly. I said, what's happening with me over the last almost year and a half feels like this upward trajectory that's not, it feels really good, but I don't feel like I'm quite at the finish line. I feel like I still have a lot more to give to you, to give to our kids, to give to our community, to give to you, the listener. I just feel like there's a lot more inside of me that God wants to come out. And that's when my wife said to me at dinner, I think when we met and I married you, you were at what? Go ahead.
What? No, you repeat it. I want to hear how you interpreted it.
I don't think it's how I interpreted it. I think it's how it was said. She said, well, I think that's fair. She's like, when I met, I've thought about this. And I think when we met and we got married, now that looking back, I think you were at 30%. And now.
Whoa. Of your potential. That is a freaking compliment.
And now I think you're at 60%.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yeah. So here's what I've told her.
And then she goes, that's a compliment.
You listen up, therapist that we have, listen up. It is a compliment because I will tell you, Aric is way more talented than I am. You have way more gifts than I have. But you have not in the past afforded yourself the opportunity to lean in on those talents and grow and see what you can do. So I'm saying you have 40% untapped potential that I'm trying to lift you up and get you to go fly, little butterfly.
Bird. We do birds in this house. Come on.
Okay. Spread those wings because you are incredibly talented.
Fly like an eagle.
He thinks that's like not a compliment. I'm saying I'm pretty much tapped out. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, all you're doing right now, I did 11 years ago on my trajectory and what I wanted to do. And I'm probably like 80% tapped out of my potential. I think, yes, I still have growth. I still have things I can do, write a actual book and speak and do things like that. That's my remainder 20% that I'm tapping out because by then I'm going to be a grandma and then I'm just going to do that. Anyway, it's a compliment, but please comment.
She just went a lot deeper than she did at dinner.
That was complete BS. I explained all that to you. I'm like, you have a ton of potential and there's a lot more you can do. Did I not say that?
She did get to that point.
How is that not a compliment?
It didn't start. Well, when we got married, you were 30% of your potential. Yeah. And now you're at 60%.
Because look at
what? But I love it. Yeah, no, I get it now.
Look how far you've come.
I get it now.
Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, no, that's why I said to you, I think there's more for me to give. I think that the Lord wants more from me. Yeah.
Yes.
I get it.
So let me just ask this.
I think now it's a compliment.
Was I wrong in my assessment? I think, yes, you immediately.
This is back to if you're listening and you're in mid-Missouri and you have a guitar player available, I need a guitar player so I can start playing some shows. I do want to do that, but I don't have a guitar player.
Yeah, you have an amazing voice. You're talented.
I need a guitar player.
In the marketing and what you're doing with Rusty Drewing, like all of that. You have a ton of talent. You just need to be in an environment that you can go explore all of that and feel safe. And I do feel like
I need to feel
we've
safe.
had the
That's true.
last couple of years of absolute hell. And we have hell ahead of us. Like, this is never going to go away with losing Hallie. But we are getting to a point where I feel like you can really hone in on those talents and see what you can do.
There's the compliment. It was great to watch Angie finally relax a little bit. Also watched her wind back up a little bit this first full week. So I'm watching to see how she's able to lay things down and to stop chasing. And that is where we're at for the new year. If you have any guys in your life that you think want to take a walk with me, they can. Would happily go visit with some folks. Obviously, weather isn't always playing nice these days in the winter, but there's been some really nice days too. So happy to walk with some guys. And if anybody has a guitar player, I'm happy to sing with somebody too. Those are early options, easy things. Do you want to pray for anybody tonight, or how do you want to end tonight's podcast?
I would just say that January 17th is Hallie's birthday. And if you're looking for a gift or a message to give to someone in honor of Hallie, Feathers Matter and Are You With Me, those two children's books that I wrote, they're out there on our Sevens Boutique website. There's a whole section that's all for Hallie. So there's sweatshirts and those. And the books that I wrote along with the little Snuggies, those little cute little stuffed animals. So send a book to someone that you want to make sure that they know that they matter and to be brave in this life.
Love it. I'm just praying for moms everywhere who've lost a child, dads too, but just firsthand witness how difficult it is just to get out of bed, put one foot in front of the other. And so praying for moms everywhere. I know we have so many moms listening to this podcast that have lost children. So just a special prayer for each and every one of you. You are on my heart, not just Angie, but all of you. So with that, we are grateful to have you. Always fun to have you listening. Earlier this week, Angie shared some of the stats that we got this past year, and there were thousands of you. And it was just, it's cool to see that maybe we're just helping one or two people, and that's nice. So we hope that you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for listening. God bless.
Thank you for listening to Blended Blessed and Always a Mess. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and at blendedblessedalwaysamess.com.
Reach out to us on any of our social channels. We would love to hear from you. Have a great week.